Hey guys, so I've been having a hard time these past few days with my medical stuff, the dysautonomia stuff, and then also with a pinched nerve in my back, which hurts so bad. And as I wondered and prayed about how I would do a video or what it would be about, the answer that I kept getting was just to talk to you guys, like just talk to them. So I don't have a skit or anything. I'm just going to talk to you guys about the things that have been highlighted to me these past few days during a tough time physically. So one of the things that I've noticed is a difference between now, what things are like now when I have these like harder times than what it was like before. Just the difference between how I think now versus how I did before. Before I was like scared. I was like full of fear and worried all the time that I would die. It seems dramatic probably, but my anxiety used to just be ridiculously high, especially after hitting my head a few times from passing out. And one of the times in the hospital, nurse telling me, you need to be really careful because one more good blow to the head in just the right way and it could like really cause a lot of damage, or if you hit it just right, then that could be it, like you could die after that. So I used to be scared all the time that I was going to hit my head again. So I went from being scared all the time when it came to passing out, or even just thinking about passing out, to I don't really feel scared anymore. And even though sometimes I get the thoughts of like feeling nervous, when it comes to passing out, it doesn't last as long. And I know where it's coming from. If I start to, like now when my stuff is worse than it normally is, if thoughts start to come in my head like, oh, am I gonna wake up in the morning, or like is my heart gonna stop in the night? I know where those thoughts come from, and so I don't let them get to me like they used to. So that's a big difference. Like instead of being afraid or nervous all the time, or high anxiety all the time, and like even being afraid to get in the car to go somewhere because what if we get in a car accident and then I hit my head and I'm gonna die? I don't think like that anymore, and instead I just redirect my thoughts. I redirect my focus to God, and that helps me just stay excited about whatever there is to learn and how it will help me grow and what will come of it. So I just stay fixed on Him and keep my heart in a thankful place and in a trusting place. I also started to think about how I used to have thoughts of like, why me? Because I started passing out when I was 13, and I used to have those types of thoughts like, why is this? Like, of all the complications I could have, which this way of thinking I know doesn't even make sense, but then I would have times of thinking like, why is this happening to me? Somebody who loves being active, like love playing basketball and being active, like riding bikes and rollerblading and dancing and singing and all these different things. Now it's really hard to do those things that I love to do. Some of it I can't really do at all. And I used to wonder why someone like me who loves to be active, just dumb thoughts like that. Like, or why do I have to live my life so differently? I can't do the same things that other people do the way that they do it. But that's not my way of thinking anymore. First of all, nobody lives exactly the same as anybody else, so there's that. But the closer that I got to Christ over the years, the less I thought that way, the less I was wondering, the less I was asking why, because I feel like I don't even, like, who am I to be asking God why, first of all? And God never said that in this life it would be exactly everything that we want, when we want, how we want. But He does, but we can still find comfort in knowing that even through the hard times, they're still good. And I definitely believe that. I know that. So much good has come from these medical complications that I deal with every day, that I've been dealing with. So much growth and trust and faith and maturity and understanding. A lot of things. Sympathy and empathy. And there are a lot of things, but I can't think right now. Growing in my relationship with Christ has helped, that's for sure. So that's another thing, that difference between then versus now. And I don't think just about me. I'm talking about me right now because I can't speak for other people, but I guess maybe the reason why, when I prayed about what I would do for a video this week, maybe it's because other people can relate, and even if we don't all have the exact same problems, still some type of encouragement can come from this, I hope. So maybe that's why. But this might be boring to people, I know. But I just I'm very dedicated to, if this is what I'm feeling led to do, then that's what I'm going to do. Even though there are thoughts in my head that are saying, just do nothing, or just try to push and do a skit that you wrote, or whatever. Just trusting what I'm being told and following those directions. That's what I'm doing. But we all have struggles, and life with Jesus helps. I've lived both ways. I've lived in fear and in faith, and focused and fixed on things of this world, and then focused and fixed on God's Word. And while this way tends to be less popular and sometimes not understood and sometimes more judged, it's still worth it. It's still a better life. It is. Like, we're gonna go through struggles and have people come against us and judge us no matter what, so might as well be doing it with Christ in us, helping us get through it and guiding us along the way. Something else that I thought of was always with analogies, I'm telling you, but with a pinched nerve. My eyes thought of a pinched nerve in the back analogy, that, well, this freaking hurts. It hurts so bad, and I'm like hobbling around the house and dragging my leg sometimes completely losing all strength in my leg and just trying not to fall over, and then spasms, and that causes me to gasp, and then all of that, the pain and everything, makes all the dysautonomia stuff worse, all of those symptoms worse, and the near syncope happen more often. Anyway, talking about the pinched nerve analogy, all of this, or sometimes we might try to make it better ourselves, and we might try to do all kinds of things like stretch a certain way, or sit a certain way, or have it pop somehow, or something to make it better, and then it doesn't work. And even though we're trying all kinds of things to make it better, it still doesn't work, and it actually sometimes makes it worse. trying to force the nerve and the muscle to just be better. The back, trying to force it to feel better, and trying to rush the healing process somehow, when sometimes we just need to let it run its painful course. And that made me think about just things in life that we need to sometimes, even though things hurt and they're uncomfortable and they suck, that we just need to let it run its painful course sometimes, instead of trying to fix it ourselves. And having these medical complications that I have, that helps me realize that sometimes it's not going to go away. Sometimes we have things that are really hard and we have to let it run its course. And sometimes there are things that are really hard that aren't going to go away. Like, I have this massive list of symptoms, and passing out, that may be the rest of my life. And instead of being upset about it, I am comforted in knowing who holds my life, and that He will use us for His good. He will use His children. He will use us for His good, no matter what medical complications we have, or no matter what pain we're in, or what past we have. He's gonna use us for His good no matter what. And that is what keeps me okay with the fact that this might be forever. And I hope that you guys are encouraged with, whatever struggles that you guys face, whether it's temporary or forever, the rest of your life here on earth, that it doesn't have to mean that our lives are miserable. Because, to me, it's exciting. It's an exciting thing. Like, He's going to use this stuff that sucks for good somehow. And I see some ways, like, it helps teach our kids things that, being understanding and helpful and sympathetic and caring and patient. Our kids have learned a lot with this type of stuff. So that's one thing, helping us in raising our kids in a good way. But I know that He's got plans mixed into my medical complications, and I believe that that's true for whatever you guys have going on too. We just need to give it all up to Him and trust that He's going to use it, and ask Him to use us for His good no matter what, and then just keep our minds fixed on that. On Sunday, in Pastor Stuart's sermon, he said something about how our paths, the path that we're on, might look crooked to us, but to God it's straight. And I love that, because we all have things that we face and that make us feel like the path we're on is too rocky or too, bumpy. The hills are too steep, or it's just like all over the place. But we just need to trust that all of those rocky areas and the, crookedness is still getting us to where He wants us to be, and that all of those bumps, all of the bumpiness is like, that the bumps are like the necessary lessons that we need to learn along the way. That's what I thought of when he said that, and I loved that.
My peace I give to you, not as the world gives do I give. Don't be fearful, rather trust in God. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and lean not on your own understandings, but in what? All of your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your path. It may seem very crooked, but I promise you it's straight to God.
All of Pastor Stuart's Bible studies and Sunday sermons, they're all so great. And so I really do hope that you guys, if you haven't already, check out his links that I have in the description of all these videos, because they are so good and such needed messages that help us grow and help us to be better and understand more of God's Word. I feel like maybe I talked too long because I feel confused. I love you guys, and I'm sorry that this wasn't a more exciting video. I thank you guys, all of you guys who've been praying. I thank you guys for that. I don't know why I'm starting to cry. Your guys' prayers do mean a lot. I feel like praying is like the nicest thing that somebody could do for someone else. Because what nicer thing is there to do than lift someone up to God? So your guys' prayers mean a lot. I'm just thankful for you guys and for my kids who've been so sweet and caring, and my husband who helps me all the time walk through the house and bring me things or helps me do the things I'm trying to do, even when he's in his own pain.